President Harry S. Truman made the decision to drop the atomic bomb on 2 cities in Japan, as many of you know. Today I'm going to look into his character and his reasons for dropping the bomb. First, I'm going to give some background on President Truman and the bomb in general, how each affected the population of Japan. Next, I'm going to talk about his character, which I'm going to exemplify through 2 quotes of this. Third, I'm going to talk about why he chose to drop the bomb, and lastly, why I believe it was wrong. So the first bomb was called Little Boy, and it was dropped on Hiroshima 6 August 1945 by a B-29 known as Enola Gay. 60,000 to 80,000 people were killed instantaneously, according to BBC, and an estimated final death count of 135,000 was eventually killed by radiation poisoning and burns. The second bomb was called Fat Man, and it was dropped 3 days later on August 9th. This time by a B-29 known as Boxcar. The original target was Kokura, but it was too cloudy, so they moved on to the secondary target, which was Nagasaki. 40,000 people this time were killed instantly, even though it was a slightly larger bomb. It had a smaller effect because of the mountainous region of Nagasaki. And an estimated final death count was 50,000 by BBC. Both the death counts are relatively moderate. There are some estimates that are a lot higher. And this did lead to an unconditional surrender by Japan. Now I'm going to go ahead and look into the type of person that Truman was. And like I said, I'm going to look into 2 quotes. The first quote is his reaction when he finds out that he became president. He was vice president under Roosevelt for just about 3 months before Roosevelt died, and he became president of the United States. His reaction was the following. Just go ahead and read that. So in my opinion, this really shows that he's a humble person. He knows that his job is going to be extremely difficult. He's walking into presidency and during World War II. And it's going to be challenging. He says that. He tells the press right there that it's going to be hard on him. The second quote I'd like to share with you is his reaction as president to a news reporter who gave a review of his daughter's performance. His daughter was an aspiring opera singer, and the New York Times reviewer went and watched her and then released a bad review of his daughter Margaret. And this is what he said. Go ahead and read this one too. Yeah, and he wrote that while he was president. That was only 3 months in, and of course the New York Times published it as soon as I got it, so this was out for the whole public to see. And this just shows me that he's extremely honest, and he says whatever he thinks. He's just straightforward, and he wasn't going to lie about what he thought. So, not worried about his reputation necessarily, just backing up his daughter and saying what he thinks. So, why did he drop the bomb, though? That's the main question. 3 main things. First, to avoid a land invasion of Japan. There are many estimates of the death toll that would amount due to as a result of the land invasion, not only for Japanese soldiers but also for American soldiers. General MacArthur estimated 31,000 U.S. casualties in the first 30 days. The Joint Chiefs of Staff estimated that 7 times that number, so over 200,000 in the first 30 days. And some estimated up to 1 million American casualties if they were to go into war, into a land war. The second reason was he was determined to impose unconditional surrender. It was very clear that Japanese were not willing to surrender unconditionally as the things were currently going. Yes, it was pretty obvious they were going to lose the war, but they were very clear they did not want to give up their emperor, who they saw as a deity. And lastly, he didn't see a huge difference between firebombing and the atomic bomb. Firebombing had already killed over 300,000 Japanese, and as I just told you, the 2 atomic bombs actually killed less people than that. So he was like, well, we're already bombing civilians using firebombs, so it's not that much different. However, I do still think it was wrong. Throughout my research, I came to the conclusion that President Truman was not a monster. Although he wasn't involved in this terrible event, he was doing it because he thought it was right. He wasn't acting like others have in the past and just trying to get rid of a whole population because he didn't like them. He thought that he was saving lives, even their own lives, by doing this. However, I do think he made the wrong decision. He had a couple other options available to him, and I believe that it's never the right call to target civilians during war. I don't think it's just. And a couple of the options where he could have gone to peace talks and allowed the Japanese to retain their emperor, who, as I said before, was a deity, and they thought that they looked at him as a god of sorts. And they had already expressed that if they could have kept their emperor, they would have been okay with a conditional surrender in that matter. Second thing is he could have given a demonstration of the bomb, and his response to this was he didn't want to give the demonstration because of the chance that it didn't work. However, I do think it would have been worth it. If he could have saved their lives by just demoing the bomb and ended the war in that way, it would have been worth trying. And lastly, he could have waited for the Soviets to enter the war. It was well known that the Soviets were about to enter, and that would have also led to the defeat by most historians of the Japanese. So thank you very much.